Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing great. So I received a couple of requests in order to cover a end-to-end rack project, that too using Azure cloud resources and using a modular coding. So I have put in a lot of my efforts in order to come up with this project where we are building an AI power investor intelligence platform. So it is a RAG based project, and we are going to build this particular project from scratch. We are going to develop it, and at the end we are going to focus on deploying this particular project as well. So we'll be deploying this project on the Kubernetes cluster. So this is a complete package. This video is going to be little longer, so I'm thinking to cover this video in parts. Yeah, so in this part, I'm going to give the application demonstration, how the end application is going to look like. So without wasting time, let me take you to the demo. Okay, so this is our user interface. You can see AI powered investor intelligence platform. So what exactly this particular application does, it compares the annual reports of the organizations, and based on that it retrieves some of the KPIs out of it and it shows those KPIs for the end user. Now our end user for this application are the investors who are who are willing to invest into these organizations. So what they can do, they can download the annual report of the company that they want to invest, and they can upload the report to the application, and once they upload the report, it will go ahead and extract the KPIs out of that. KPIs like revenue, then it's going to extract the net income, operating income, total liabilities, total assets, cash flow, all those details it is going to extract along with the total growth drivers, then top risk factors. It is going to extract these KPIs, and based on that, the investor can take a decision whether to invest in the that particular company or not. So this application is helpful for the investors. Now, as you can see on the left side, we have this iTech. So I would highly recommend please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because to come up with this end-to-end video, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of things that I need to prepare. Also, there is a cost involved. I need to pay for the cloud resources that I'm using. So please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So the application starts by uploading the annual report. So you can click on annual report upload, and then you can select the report. So I'm selecting the report for Tesla because for Apple and Microsoft I have already done that. So let's select 2024 Tesla report. So here the reports are pretty older, but these are just the sample reports. But yeah, actual investor can go ahead and use the actual reports. So you can see now the uploading the report is going on, meaning it is uploading the data to the vector store. But before that, it performs several steps. So the first step involved is, first it is going ahead and retrieving the content out of that particular document. So it is PDF format, so it is retrieving that into the text format, or it is retrieving that and converting that into the markdown format. Now why markdown format? Because it is the most suitable format that is used while feeding the information to the large language model, because markdown format preserves your table and other structure, and in these documents we have a lot of tabular information available. So let me quickly show you one of the report. But before that, if you see now, the upload has been completed, and you can see the Tesla report has started populating here. And you can see along with the other KPIs, now it is showcasing the KPIs for Tesla as well. So let me quickly show you what report that we have submitted. So this is the report, United States Securities and Exchange Commission. This is for Tesla. And in the below, if you see, it has a lot of information available. The PDF is pretty long. It has 144 pages. So if I scroll down and I'll show you, there are information available. So if you see, we have tabular information available with respect to the total deferred, with respect to the different matrices that we are extracting, the taxes and all other information. So converting this document to the markdown format helps us preserve this particular structure. If you are converting this into the text, it is going to basically hamper this particular structure. It will simply store that data into the TXT format, and you will lose this structure information. And this structure information is helpful whenever we are performing the chunking. So once this particular conversion of PDF to markdown format is done, then we perform a semantic chunking. And for semantic chunking, we have used a Azure OpenAI text embedding model, a medium model. And again, in the whenever we are building the project, I'll show you how to deploy those models and everything. So with the help of that model, we have basically converted all these documents into a semantic chunks, because you can see the PDF is 144 pages long. That PDF, we have chunked it into the semantic chunks, into small chunks, and those chunks then we have ingested it into the vector store. And for vector store, we have used Azure AI search. So let me quickly show you the Azure vector store that we are using. So this is the vector store that we have created, and if I go to the indexes, So we have created this index, and you can see too many documents we have updated. And if I'm searching Apple here, let's say, or let's search Tesla, so it will extract the details related to the Tesla. So if you see, it is extracting the details related to the Tesla. So this is the vector store, which is whatever information that you have chunked, it has updated that information into the vector store. Now coming back, so once that ingestion into the vector store is done, then we hit several queries. Now what queries? In order to retrieve the revenue, net income, the operating cash flow and all those details, we have defined several queries. We hit those queries to the vector store, and out of which we retrieve this content related to these KPIs. So for revenue, we are retrieving the content from the for the Tesla, and that content then we are passing it to the GPT-5 model. So GPT-5 is a LLM. Again, we are using Azure OpenAI in order to we are deploying the model on Azure OpenAI and utilizing that model. So this retrieval, we feed it to the GPT-5 model. GPT-5 model then generates the output in the structure format, in the JSON format basically, and then that JSON format, then we ingest it into the database. So database we have used here is the Azure PostgreSQL, which is a structured database that we have used in order to store the KPIs. So if you see currently on the financial metrics table, we have these information available for Apple and Microsoft. Ignore the duplicates because I tried uploading multiple times the document because I uploaded the same document multiple times. So there are duplicates, but currently Tesla is not there. So if I execute this, you will see the Tesla document as well. So if you see, Tesla document is also has been added, meaning what it does is whatever KPIs that we are whatever KPIs that we want to showcase on the dashboard, it retrieves the GPT-5 model, extract those KPIs from the content that is retrieved from the vector store, and that KPIs then it ingested into the PostgreSQL, and from PostgreSQL the user interface keeps serving those KPIs on the keeps serving those KPIs for the user. So this way, what happens is you are only extracting these KPIs at once. So you are thinking from the cost saving perspective. You are not always going ahead, and whenever user is refreshing this application, you are not again hitting the queries to the vector store and retrieving the details because it's a costly operation. Instead, you are storing them into the vector store. Storing them into the PostgreSQL. So that's how we have thought from saving the cost perspective as well, and we have thought from how exactly we build the application in the industry. Now, once this part is done, uh, like we are showing these KPIs, but there is one more interesting part available for this application. On the right side is the AI analyst chatbot. So just like actual industries, like nowadays industries are not only focused on building the chatbots, they have moved away from chatbots, and now they want to build an interactive dashboards like this with the help of AI capabilities, where they want such kind of dynamic dashboards which will help the business. So along with the chatbot, this is how we have tried to build the dashboard. Now the functionality of chatbot is for again the investors, where investor can ask follow-up questions on the metrics that they can see on the dashboard. So for example, let's say I'm selecting company Apple, and this particular result is for fiscal year 2024 Apple. So let's go ahead and ask the follow-up question. Please tell me more about the increased max sales driven by higher laptops. Now, in this case, what will happen? Again, this particular query will be hit to the vector store. From there, it will retrieve the content. That content it will pass to the GPT-5 model, and GPT-5 model will generate the response in the human readable format. So this is how it is generated based on the provided 2024 data. So this is how the increased max sales was driven by the laptop sales. So it is extracting the details of the sales obtained from the Mac laptops. So that's how this particular AI analyst chatbot is helping the investor to answer their follow-up queries if they have any, and these particular dashboards are helping them to understand where they can focus on investing by comparing these particular revenues and net incomes and the EPTA and everything against multiple organizations. So that's how I have tried to mimic exact real-time industry applications. And trust me, guys, I have put in a lot of efforts in building this application. So if you have liked this particular video, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to YouTube channel. Please give a thumbs up for my efforts, whatever I'm putting in order to come up with this particular end-to-end project. And as I mentioned at the start, this is going to be little longer series because we are now covering everything as per the standard industry practices. So in the upcoming video, I'm going to sit with you, and we are going to build an architecture as well. We'll define the architecture, and based on that architecture, we'll start coding. Once the coding is done, then we will go ahead and deploy the application on the Kubernetes cluster. So whole thing we are going to cover as part of this series. So please stay tuned for the upcoming videos, and if you have liked this particular video, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share it with your friends. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the comment section. Till then, thank you so much, and see you soon in the next video.